with Egg Harbor Township head coach Kevin Stetser and find out what the Eagles are up to here in the offseason. How you doing, Coach?
Doing well, Dave. How are you making out?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks for hopping on here on July 4th. I know you probably got a lot going on today. Let's jump right into it and talk a little high school football. I know you guys were up recently at the Rucker 7-on-7 camp. Tell us all about that and what went on up there.
Yeah, we went up there last Saturday. It's always a great event to go up to. They do it up there, and you get to see their facility and everything, which is great. We went up and we did some good things. We also saw some things that we need to work on in the off season. We ended up going 0-4, but like we like to say, you're doing a 7-on-7. You're playing football without pads, so you're not really getting the true sight of what you're going to have for the upcoming season. But overall, we felt like we did well. We're in a bit of a quarterback competition right now, so we made sure we used all of our guys to see what we have. But like I said, we did some good things, but we also saw some things we're going to need to work on.
Now, when you say you went 0-4, what do they do in these camps? Is it like a mini game, or how does that work?
Yeah, what you do is they have you spread out all over their facility, and you basically start out in a 4-team bracket, and you play the other 3 teams, and then from there, according to your record and point differential and other things, you can advance into like a playoff round. And then from there, and then they finish up with like the championship in the stadium. So, yeah, like I said, it's a great event. You get to see schools from all over. There was a lot of schools from North Jersey, some schools from Pennsylvania, some local teams as well. So it's good. You get to see what's out there, see what kind of athletes people have, and it's really just a great experience for the kids.
Now, you have a lot of young quarterbacks, like you said, competing for that quarterback spot. You had Kyle Houghton graduating from last year's squad. What was it like for those guys? How much did they learn, and were they a little bit overwhelmed with that kind of atmosphere?
I wouldn't say that they were overwhelmed. We have three senior quarterbacks coming back with, not much game experience, but they've been in our program. And then we have a sophomore who obviously doesn't have varsity experience, but I wouldn't say they were overwhelmed. They actually, at points, you move the ball well. Again, at 7-on-7, you're going to move the ball.
Right.
But, just some, maybe some mistakes down tight, made the right read, but saw it late, things like that. We improved as the day went on at that position. But, overall, again, it was great for the guys to get experience. Again, you're doing it with no pass rush and all that stuff. But, it's great to see, though. It's great to see the decision-making process and who can think quickly and think on their feet. So, it certainly helps to evaluate the quarterback position, that's for sure.
How important is that as a football program to get involved in stuff like this in the offseason, not only for your quarterbacks, but also your defensive backs? They're facing some pretty good quarterbacks up at an event like that, and to really get them experience in learning how to read routes and all that stuff and read where a ball's going to be thrown.
Yeah, it's tremendous for them. It's also... you can't be as physical as you would be in pads as well, so you're really having to, be more athletic than maybe you would be or see what you have that way. But, overall, it's a great look for them. It's really good for the linebackers, because you're teaching linebackers come downhill and all that good stuff. And, they're in there doing pass coverage, but it's good. It's good to get to see. One big thing that we like to do is, kind of try to work on what we're going to do in the season, in the fall. Not kind of throw stuff in just for the 7-on-7 purposes of it. But again, it's a great way to evaluate what you have, and it's also good for the kids to, we took a bus up together and you do a team event, and it's just, you spend the day together. So that part of it's really good too.
How cool is it? We're talking to Egg Harbor Township coach Kevin Stetser about the Rucker 7-on-7 camp they were up at recently. How cool is it for the guys to be able to go up there as a group, and not only for the team bonding aspect, but also to interact with some of these other guys from different high schools and get to know them a little bit?
It's good. It gets the competitive juices flowing. The kids, they want to do well. They kind of know who the other big kids are, from some of the other schools or what the big programs are. From up north and guys that we don't typically see, and it's fun for them. They get jacked up to play them. They want to play against the best. And you get to see some of these guys, and it's great. It really is a great experience. You're seeing some of these kids are 1A, players, and you see them up close and live, and it's great. It's great for our kids. It's a good measuring stick to see where they're at, and but it's a neat event. And it's great. It's also great to keep a connection with, our state school. So all that stuff really, it fits well.
It's got to be a little eye-opening for maybe like a sophomore or junior defensive back who's 5'7", and you're lined up against a Division I recruit who's like 6'4" and jacked. That's got to be a kind of a neat experience for them to say, oh, hey, there's other football out there, and there's some big dudes out there.
Yeah, there is. New Jersey produces great football players. I mean, year in and year out, you see there's top kids in the country out of New Jersey, and you do. I mean, you'll see kids exactly like you said. I mean, 6'3", 6'4", 210, 215 that can run, jump, run good routes. So it's really, it is a bit of an eye-opener for the younger guys. We went up last year as well, so some of our experienced guys, knew what was coming and were fired up and ready to go. Some of the younger guys, it's certainly an eye-opening experience to see that level of competition. But it's great for them.
Yeah, definitely. Talking with Kevin Stetser here on the South Jersey Sports Report, Egg Harbor Township head football coach. Coach, last year was your first season. You got off to a little bit of a crazy start there against Atlantic City. Won that in the final minute there, and went on to go 5-5. What's the expectations this year, and what kind of things are you guys working on as you prepare for the opening of the season, which will be in about middle August?
We open up again with Atlantic City, which is always, they're a great program. They have, they're well coached. They have good kids, and they're gonna come to bring it. And it's that first week's, really important for us. And then as we go on, we expect to be able to compete. We expect to be able to compete for a conference title. I mean, that's our goal every year. And then from there, see where that takes us. We like what we have. We did lose a lot of seniors. We have guys to replace, but we like what's behind them. We had a very strong freshman team last year. You see how that works out with some of the young guys mixing in. But we feel like we have a good team. We feel like the kids are working hard. I mean, they busted their butts all through June. We're picking back up next week. So, again, we like what we have. The kids have been putting in the time. They're putting in the effort, and we feel like that we'll be able to compete with the guys in the conference for sure.
Now, you said you're opening up with Atlantic City. Are you having some fitful sleeps there trying to figure out how to defend Jameer Pavard?
Yeah, he's something, and they do. They have
what an incredible athlete. I mean, he plays basketball, baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Quarterback coming back with a couple years experience and can throw, can run. That's got to be you got to do some homework on that young man.
You do, and sometimes that doesn't even matter. I mean, You can play it right. You can have the right call made, and he's going to make his plays. He's tremendous. He's a great athlete, like you said. He's football, basketball. I also coach track. I'm glad he doesn't do track for him. I'm sure he could do it. I can imagine what he's doing that. Yeah. But it is, and it's a great test at the beginning of the year for us. That's a big game for us. Being from here, I grew up playing Atlantic City. Our kids have at the youth level. They usually, Egg Harbor Township and AC are two of the top teams down there.
Yeah.
So, it's something we like playing them. We know it's a great test. We know what kind of game it's going to be, and our kids love it. We went in last year and they were ready to go, and it was a physical game. It was tight. It was crazy. Week one of the high school season, you're going to see some crazy stuff. So,
and you got them at home this year, right?
We do. Yeah, we do. It's our home opener. So that's, that'll be nice. And again, we know they're going to come ready. That was a tough loss on their end last year. I'm not sure what people expected from us last year. We know that, people know we're going to come to play. So we're not going to sneak up on anybody week one or anything like that. So we're expecting a heck of a game for sure.
We're talking with Kevin Stetser, head football coach at Egg Harbor Township High School, getting ready for the 2015 season. They'll start official workouts here in the middle of August. Got about a little more than 4 weeks to get ready for that. Coach, tell us real quick before we let you go, what's that opening night like, and what do you think it'll be like this year at home against Atlantic City? They got a lot of great players coming back. That moment where you hear the national anthem and it's game on, what's that like for you as a coach?
It's great. That's at the point where, all the nerves are gone. It's game time. It's time to compete. It's time to put your best out there against their best. Like I said, Egg Harbor Township and Atlantic City, we play each other through the youth levels. We're not that far apart. A lot of our kids know each other. It's a great opening week game. It's phenomenal. And I can't wait to get it at home this year. We had a tremendous amount of, support last year from the community. We expect that game to be packed. We expect it to be lively. and then we'll be ready to go, and I know they'll be ready to go. So it's going to be very exciting, and like I said, it's a great rivalry. It's one that we look forward to. It's one that they look forward to, and we're really glad to get it at home this year.
Awesome. Looking forward to it, Coach. Thanks for taking a few minutes. Enjoy your holiday weekend.
You too. Thanks, Dave.
All right, that was Coach Kevin Stetser from Egg Harbor Township Football. Like we